welcome to the Virgos podcast. We are up to episode 2. How exciting! This obviously is a podcast where we go over all things sex, dating, relationships, aliens, Virgos, and everything and anything in between. This episode is all going to be focused around sex, my experiences with it, some of my friends' experiences with it, and just kind of the shame behind it and why you shouldn't obviously feel any shame behind it as well. Now, starting off the episode as we always do, I'm just going to tell you some little things about my life because, look, shit happens all the time that is just so fucking unbelievable that I just can't. So, I went on a date on Friday. Very spontaneous, very did not expect this person to message me. I knew them from my old work. They were super chill. The nicest person I met in my life. Also, one of the most attractive people I've met in my life. This man is fucking gorgeous. And he messaged me and I was like, oh my god, what the hell? I'm so down for this. I'm definitely going. And went into it expecting him to obviously still be that same person. And let me tell you, looks are fucking deceiving. Or actually, no, I'm going to say looks can be correct because this man exactly what you think he would be like by just the way he looks. Very rude, arrogant, self-entitled. So, I'm not kidding. This man clicked at the waiter. Clicked at the waiter. What the fuck? As if you would. To make it worse, we were sitting at the date, drinking cocktails. It was going good at the start, and then he looks at the couple behind us, turns around, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just so distracted by them." And I was like, "What do you mean? Why?" And he was just like, "Look at them." And I turned around and looked at them. They were a bigger couple, and I was like, "Yeah, what? What about it?" And he was just like, "They're making out." And I was like, "Okay." And then I just, was like, "Okay, as an issue with PDA, whatever." No, he turns around and goes, I can't believe they've been making out in public when they're not even attractive. Oh my god, it was bad. I was like, how could you even fucking say that? This man also works in the health and fitness industry. His job is to promote a healthy lifestyle, a healthy culture to people who maybe want to become a little bit fitter or whatever it may be. And this is the way he talks about people. I could not believe it. I was like, you sir, a fucking horrible man. Anyway, so that was my night on Friday. It was horrible. It was so hard to get out of. It was the worst situation I've had in my entire life. It is what it is. You live and you learn, So at least I have a good story to tell from it. And safe to say I will not be seeing that man again. Anyway, so off that topic, one thing I have done this week as well from going on from the last episode that scares me or that obviously is my future self is going to be happy for is I actually met up with a really, really old friend. A friend that I used to have from grade 7. We went to high school together for a little while. She ended up moving to another school and we haven't seen each other in maybe a good 15 years. It's been a really long time and I was kind of nervous. You know when you meet people again they haven't seen in so long and it could be awkward and it might be uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff. Meeting new people can just be sometimes uncomfortable. So I was super nervous. I was super I hope this goes well. But it was fucking awesome. I loved it. She's so my vibe. We just clicked quite well. It was so good. I'm very, very happy I went and I'm very excited I did it because my old self definitely would have found a way to call in sick for this friendship date if you can even do that. Yeah, so off that topic, obviously apparently I can't talk today, guys, but we're gonna keep rolling with it. Let me know if you guys obviously did anything else that you feel yourself be proud of, that you're happy about, anything like that. Tag me in it and I'd be super excited to hear your stories. Now let's get on to the grot of this episode, which is going to be sex. I know, I'm super excited. Everybody should be. It is the best topic in the entire fucking world. I love it so much. I wish in the life I could be a sex therapist because that would probably be my dream job. But yeah, so I kind of want to go over sex stories, sex dating, the culture around sex, the tabooness about it, I guess sex shaming, all that kind of stuff, because I've just seen a lot of it at the moment. Obviously I'm on TikTok and that is just such a negative culture that you just see a lot of shaming women for sex, being go back to the streets, all that type of shit, which I just feel is so unnecessary and also just so unproductive for the men as well. That I kind of want to address it. I just feel it needs to be addressed. So as to start off with, I kind of want to give you guys a little background about my sex life, well, not my sex life. I'm not going to tell you guys every nerdy story, but kind of where I'm coming from in terms of this. So I would say that I'm a Virgo, so I'm definitely a kinky girl. We love a little bit of kink in the bedroom. And we definitely are horny all the time. So you can say that I do have a pretty good sex life. I enjoy sex. I always have. I would definitely say I'm a very sexual person. And I really have never had a thought behind it that was like shameful. Well, not shameful because I definitely have, but like a thought behind it that another person's come to me and given me a sex story and I've been like, ew, how could you do that? Like I've always been very like open about sex and like very like interested about it. So I've never ever had that judgmental point of view to sex, if that makes sense. And yeah, like I think that for me, I would say changed when I started dating my ex. Like I was very, like I said before, very open to sex, did not care, loved it. Like was a very, very fluid person. Like I just went with the flow. Like I loved it so much. It was a great time. Um, and like honestly, the word like whore and slut just like was not a thing. Like I just did not understand why people would say that to people until I met my ex, and then that word became a daily occurrence. But you know, it literally went from me not caring to like loving it to like just like being a very like I guess casual open person to being so shameful and like so upset and like anxious about sex. And then for now, going back to the way I was, where I just do not care. I love the topic, enjoy it. Like I'm very like open about it. You can ask me anything and I'll tell you everything. Like just very very like into it. But when I was with my ex, I remember like didn't tell him. He found out because I was so nervous to tell him because of the way he was. How many people I'd slept with and like my sexual past and all that kind of stuff, which isn't that bad. But even if it was, who cares? Um, and he broke up with me and continued to judge me for it and make me feel like a whore for so long. And that just led me to be this most insecure, anxious person just around sex in general. Like I became very like I wouldn't tell him what I wanted in bed. I just put up for whatever he wanted. I did not speak out. I did not speak up. I didn't talk anymore in the bedroom. I was just so anxious around it just because I didn't want to be viewed as a whore anymore like he viewed me. And I really hope from this like nobody else feels the same way ever, which is why I kind of want to start doing these subjects a little bit more often. But yeah, I remember him saying one time like, oh, you don't talk in the bedroom, you don't do this, you don't do that, like da da da, I want you to act like more of a slut in the bedroom for me. And I was just so shocked. I was like, you can't expect somebody to be sexual, act like a little whore for you in the bedroom and shame them for sex. It does not work that way. You need to be a very open, comfortable, reliable person for somebody to open up to you in that way in the bedroom. Like you just have to. And that was about the first time that I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. Like this just if this is the way it is gonna be, I need to be with somebody who's gonna be very open and very like sexual, intersexual, sexuality as I am. And then yeah, to now gone through like a lot of therapy and like work with people around sex and I guess the subject like the tabooness around it, coming back into myself knowing that if I have sex, I'm not a slut because I didn't have sex with anybody after my ex for like 6 months because I was just so anxious about being called a whore. Like I just still cared so much about what this person thought, and now I just like am like you're not like if you want to have sex, girl, fucking go for it. Like get that dick. Like go 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 go. But yeah, that's kind of where I want to get everybody else's mind at. Like not like go chase all that dick, but like just comfortable and happy around sex. And I hope that makes sense. So in saying that, the biggest takeaway that I want everybody to have from this video is that it is okay. Sex is okay. Masturbation's okay. Having fun is okay. Like everything to do with sex is fine. If you are having consensual sex, it is okay. Like it should not be this hidden, scary topic that we like don't talk about. Like I love the fact that like with my friendship group now, like it's so open. It could be like, yeah, I had like the best sex last night. It was so good. Like all this happened. It was amazing. Have you tried this? Like have you tried this? Like we're just so open about it now. And like I think that's the way it should be. Like even the point in my house, there's four of us that live here. And like just to save the awkwardness of somebody walking in on you, like, we have these signs that we flip if we like are either getting off or we are having sex. And we flip them and it literally says, get out, like I'm getting off, or fuck off, I'm getting off, or some shit like that. It's just amazing. Like I just love how open like people can be with sex. And when you do that, it is not an awkward subject. Like have you ever noticed like when you actually talk about sex with people and you're so open about it, it's not awkward at all. You could be telling them like the weirdest shit that you've ever done and you would be like, oh yeah, cool. Like just once it is an open ed subject, nobody cares. Like I used to be so scared about talking about like vibrators and like masturbation and like I was so awkward about it and I like didn't want to tell anybody that I did it. And then I remember like living with my roommate and like we went vibrator shopping together. We were like, this is so much fun. Like, let's get matching ones. Like, woo. And like we would just like leave the room and I'd be like, I need to go get off. Like, I'm going. Like, it's just very chill now, and I love it. And I think that's the way like everybody honestly should be. So yeah, I would encourage everybody, you know, when you are with your friends next, your partner, whatever. I was gonna say your family, but probably don't do that. Don't get too close. But yeah, your friends or your partner, like be open about it. Like if you know you want to talk about something, just be like, you know, this happened. Like has anybody else experienced, or I did this and it was awesome. You should try this. Like just be open and honest and share your thoughts and opinions and your feelings about it, and people will reciprocate. They will go with it as well. Um, Now I kind of want to talk about the like culture of slut shaming because it just really frustrates me so much, and I hope that there's some guys listening in this that you know can, I guess, change the view a little bit in the guys' brains because it's so freaking annoying that they have this view. But I am sorry if a guy and a girl are the same amount of people, and you call a girl a whore for that, but you call a guy a legend, you need to grow the fuck up. That culture around like guys can have as much sex as they want, but like girls better not. Like you need to make sure that you're like pure and innocent and all that fucking shit. I'm just gonna be straight up and honest. If you're a guy, do you want to fuck a girl who has no idea what she's doing, or do you want to fuck a girl who knows what she's doing in the bedroom? She may have more experience because that's how it comes, but like, what would you prefer? Like, honestly, like I'm really curious to know because I think guys view and have this idea that they want this perfect princess who like just has never seen a penis before and like dresses in all white, and then they get that and they're like, oh my god, this fucking sucks. Like doesn't know how to suck a dick or like do any of that shit. Like fuck, this is horrible. I wish I had somebody with more experience. And you're not going to get the girl anymore because you probably slut shamed her. So I feel like that's such a like shitty topic, and if you hear anybody saying that type of shit, I do it all the time. Like if you hear a guy slut shaming a girl, call them the fuck out on it. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, whatever. Like call their fucking shit out because that type of culture needs to stay in the past. Like we do not need to bring that into the next coming future with us. Like it's just such a shitty view because I don't understand it. Like I've had these friends that have said, okay, well, the reason that that is because girls are meant to be seen as like reproducing. So if they have sex with multiple people, it's like you don't know who the dad is. That's a reason for it. I was like, okay, but that probably was like from fucking when we were fucking voyages and like whatever, hunting and all that type of shit. Sure, back then, okay. Even in the culture, like, Christian culture way back when, okay, I get it then. But we no longer live in that culture. That no longer should be inbred into us to have that thought or feeling. That's now just either your upbringing or the way you view women. You need to change that in yourself. Don't blame the past. Don't blame the fact that women have kids so we shouldn't be having sex. That is not okay, and that's not the way it works. We had birth control for a reason. I'm sure that God does not want to have your child. Calm down. That should annoy me so much because it just shouldn't. There should be no double standards with it. Um, and the idea of, I see this a lot on my TikTok constantly. Like, guys will be like, oh, you're being objectified. You're objectifying yourself. Blah, blah, blah. Like, how dare you do that? I'm sorry, but if you're objectifying a woman and you see her post a video and maybe she's like feeling herself or whatever it may be, and your straight thought is like, oh, how dare she objectify herself? You're the one objectifying her. She's not objectifying herself. She's living her best fucking life. She's having a great old time. You are the one that has gone out of your way to think that, oh my god, she is such a whore because she's now objectifying her body, or she's showing off her body, or she's proud of her body. That's just on you at that point. Like, if you have that view, you must have that view constantly all day, every day, with every girl you see. So don't come at people that are online or even in like person or somebody that's just wearing something that you don't deem appropriate and say that they're objectifying themselves because they're not. They're not. I guarantee you they haven't woke up in the morning and been like, God damn, fuck yeah, let me objectify myself. They woke up in the morning and be like, fuck, I look hot, yeah, let's go. And you woke up in the morning and chose some violence and chose to have that view. That is something that needs to freaking change. And I think it is a little bit. I think guys starting to realize that like we don't take that shit no more. We will just walk away. Like we will find the next person who cares more about themselves and what they're doing than what we're wearing or what we feel about ourselves. So I really fucking hope that goes because I'm so sick of seeing that. And if you guys can obviously relate to that, let me know. I think it's something that happens to women all the time. Like obviously with what I do online, I see it a lot where guys will be like, oh my god, you're getting paid to objectify yourself. It's like, well, honey, I'm sorry, but girls get objectified every single day for free. I'm just getting paid for it. That's on you at this point. But yeah, I'm very curious to know, like, if you guys grew up with a very, like, sex positive household, if you grew up with a very, like, awkward household around sex, if you were, I don't know, like, obviously it's hard when you're growing up because no parent wants to introduce their kids to sexuality and, like, all that kind of stuff. But I think it is one of these things that if you're not, like, open about it, if you're not forthcoming with information, if you're not welcoming and, like, open with your kids, they're just gonna go and do it like I did. Like, they're just gonna go figure it out for themselves. But at least if you're able to have that comfortable conversation with them and let them know that it's okay and that they can come and talk to you and they can ask you questions, then at least your kids are, one, going to be having sex, which is great. And two, they're going to feel more comfortable around it when they get older. They're going to have less trauma around it. They're going to have less guilt around it, and they are going to be having fun. They're going to enjoy themselves. Obviously, don't listen to me. I'm not a fucking parent, so probably don't come to me for your kids' advice. But in general, I feel like it shouldn't be such a taboo, awkward subject. So I challenge you. I think after this episode, everybody should, one, go have sex if you can, if you have somebody that you are sleeping with, or go find yourself one. We never know what's going to happen. And two, probably the more important one, write down everything that you feel around sex. And the best way to do this is to literally get a book, write down like sex in the middle as the word, and then every single thing that comes to your brain, the first thing, it could be like money. I don't really so love how that's the first thing that came to my brain. But it could be anything like sex, money, fun, bad, whatever it is, like whatever you actually think about. It comes to your head, write everything down, no shame with it, and then just like sit there and look at it and actually find out what your view is on sex, because a lot of the feelings that we have are so subconscious that you don't even know. Like, I used to get this feeling after I'd have sex. It was honestly a lot to do with my ex-partner, which makes sense, but I would just have this like gut feeling of like uncomfortableness. Like, I don't know if anybody else ever gets this, but you just feel like guilty and like shame and wrong, and like it just took me so long to get over that feeling. Now I don't get that. I have not had that feeling in literally so long. Since me and my ex broke up, I don't have that feeling anymore. And that obviously was my subconscious telling me something that I didn't like and I didn't feel comfortable with and I was not okay with. So I challenge everybody to do that. Let me know how you go with it. Let me know if you do end up getting some. I hope you all do. And let's just change this like idea and culture around sex, because I'm just so over people having this taboo idea about it. It's so natural. It's what we enjoy. It's what we like doing. So it's about time we fucking get to it, get down and dirty, and share our experiences. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that for today. I hope it wasn't too random. I honestly just thought I'd kind of jump here and have a conversation about it and go more in depth with it all later on down the track. But let me know if you guys do that exercise, if you're able to, I guess, come up with some subconscious thoughts. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.